All right, welcome back. In our last explainer, we really dove into one of the most staggering and, frankly, unsettling truths in the entire Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's big reveal, his universal form. It left us with a massive question. After Arjuna sees everything, creation, destruction, all happening at once, already in motion, he hears this absolutely profound statement from Krishna: I am time. Just think about that. Outcomes are already unfolding, way beyond anyone's personal control. It's a vision that could just paralyze you, right? So, of course, that leads to the one unavoidable question, the one that's at the very heart of what we're talking about today. If it's all inevitable, if those warriors are already destined to fall, why even fight? Why wouldn't Arjuna just step aside? Well, chapter 11 actually answers this with some devastating clarity. Okay, so first things first, let's tackle the biggest, most common mistake people make when they hear this. It's this idea that if something is inevitable, then our actions just become, well, totally irrelevant. We'll call it the inevitability mistake.
I mean, it seems like a logical leap, doesn't it? If the end result is already baked in, then what I do or what I don't do, how could it possibly make a difference? It's a superhuman reaction to have, but as we're about to see, it's a complete misunderstanding of what the Gita is actually saying here.
And this is where we get to the core distinction. On one hand, you have the mistaken idea, which is nothing you do matters. But then you have the Gita's actual message, which is you are not the author of the total outcome. See the difference? Those two statements are worlds apart. So, here's the crucial takeaway. Inevitability doesn't remove your responsibility, it totally redefines it. Your responsibility shifts away from trying to control the final outcome, which, let's be honest, was always an illusion, and it moves towards aligning your actions with your duty, with truth, with what's right in front of you. Okay, so let's follow this thread, because this idea builds into a completely new way of understanding the whole purpose of action itself, and it's probably not what most of us think it is. The thing is, the goal of action, according to the Gita, isn't to bend the universe to your will. I mean, that's a battle you are always going to lose. The real goal is to participate consciously, to align yourself with the flow of reality as it is, not as you wish it were. And this really highlights what's still in Arjuna's court. He can't stop the war. He can't stop time itself. No way. But what he can do, what he absolutely has a choice in, is how he participates. He can choose to act from a place of clarity, not confusion. He can choose duty over avoidance. He can choose integrity over fear. That choice is still his. And that choice, it leads to two completely different ways to go through life. You can participate with denial, either fooling yourself that you're in total control, or the opposite, that you have no control at all and nothing matters. Or you can participate with awareness, actually understanding your true role and acting with clarity and purpose right where you are. Okay, but what if Arjuna just says, nope, I'm out, puts down his bow, walks away? I mean, surely that's the wise thing to do, right? The detached, spiritual path? Well, the Gita is very, very clear on this point. See, withdrawal can often look like wisdom or nonviolence. It's a great disguise. But when you start to peel back the layers, Krishna shows that it's often just ego protecting itself, or maybe fear dressing up as spirituality. And the consequence isn't some higher state of innocence. It's just a profound misalignment with reality. And Krishna's teaching here is blunt. He says that choosing not to act when reality is calling on you to engage, that doesn't make you pure or innocent. It just makes you someone who has failed to align with your duty and the truth of the moment. All right, all of this is building to one of the most liberating and honestly profound concepts in the entire Gita, this idea of being an instrument for a force that's much larger than yourself.
And this is Krishna's instruction to Arjuna. It's subtle, but it's so powerful. Be merely an instrument. Now, on the surface, that sounds passive, right? Like being some kind of mindless puppet. But that couldn't be further from the truth.
Being an instrument isn't meant to be a humiliation. It's the exact opposite. It's a profound liberation. It frees you from that crushing, heavy, egoic burden of thinking that you are the sole cause of everything, that you are the final judge of its worth, and that you are the exclusive owner of the results. So think about what this means. It means you are not the sole cause. You are not the final judge. And you are definitely not the owner of the outcomes. All that false ownership of things you never really controlled anyway, gone. But look at what's left, what's still there. You are responsible for right action. Your agency, your ability to choose isn't erased. It's just clarified and focused on the one thing you actually can control. So let's take this ancient wisdom and bring it right into our world today. How does any of this apply to that feeling of powerlessness that so many of us have when we're facing these massive, complex systems? I mean, we've all been there, right? You look at these giant corporations or the global economy or these entrenched political systems, and you just think, I'm one person. This is so much bigger than me. What difference can I possibly make? Well, the Gita's answer to that exact feeling is incredibly sharp and I think very empowering. It says, you are not responsible for fixing the entire system. You're not, but you are 100% responsible for your alignment, your integrity, your ethics, your duty within that system. And what that means is, using the size of a system as an excuse for unethical action, that doesn't get you off the hook. It doesn't just absolve you of responsibility. All it really does is remove your own integrity from the equation. Okay, so let's bring this all home. Chapter 11 doesn't get rid of our responsibility. Not at all. It just strips that responsibility of all its illusions. Yeah, just let this one sink in for a moment. You are not the controller of time. You are not the author of destiny. But you are, and you always will be, accountable for how you respond to the reality that is right in front of you. So in the end, why must Arjuna act? It's not to change a universe that's already in motion. It's to align his own soul with truth. And that really leaves us with a question to chew on. When we're faced with these overwhelming forces in our own lives, what does it truly mean for us to stay aligned? Join us next time when we're going to explore why, after this absolutely terrifying vision, Arjuna's first request is for Krishna to go back to a more human, gentler form.